What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Higher Level Mindset channel. I'm going to speak about why you could be intimidating people without even knowing it, living your life and self-improving in your own life, especially if you're mining your own spiritual energy, if you're raising your frequency as an individual. A lot of people might target you. You might deal with a lot of negative energy. I'm going to explain why that is and how exactly kind of to deal with that thing. So this may be common in places like your workplace, school, all the places that you're around your so-called average people. Now you have to realize with your average people, these people don't operate most likely on the same frequency you do. If you are watching this video, you most likely are aware of your spiritual self. You most likely are self-improving in somewhat in your life. And you have to realize that a lot of other people aren't doing that. A lot of other people have habits that are putting them on a low frequency. A lot of people are indulged in the cheap dopamine that this world has set for them. A lot of people aren't secure or authentic with who they actually are as a person, so they have to put on a fake act when they're around others. Now if you're the opposite to this, if you're authentic with who you are as an individual and you decide to do something a bit different with your life compared to what everyone else does with their own life, you decide not to really go out as much on the weekends, you decide not to partake in this bad habit, you decide to work on this when you're home instead of these working on that when you're home, these people are going to see you subconsciously as an enemy. Now they might be targeting you and they might not even realize that they're targeting you. Naturally your soul is just going to make them feel insecure about themselves because you're not like how they are. You're not operating on the same frequency as they are. And you're going to encounter either a lot of negativity or a lot of positivity with this. As in, you'll get people who are very, very attracted to you. Especially with men, if you're on semen retention and you're consciously on semen retention, your energy is going to be a lot more attractive. You're going to be a lot more confident within yourself. So that's going to lead to you attracting a lot more women. And then again, that's going to lead to you getting a lot of jealousy from men or men trying you constantly. So you have to realize on your spiritual journey, if you're raising your frequency, you have to be able to deal with the negativity as much as you're able to deal with the positivity. There's a lot more positivity that comes with it because you're finding your spiritual self. You're realizing that you're actually on earth for you to spiritually grow. But again, there's light and there's darkness. You have to be able to deal with the darkness. And a lot of these people are not able to deal with the darkness. They're not able to deal with it. Like, they're not able to clean out the dusty corners in their mind. It's there. And when they go back to it with their mind to bad things that have happened in their past, they get really upset or they get depression and the likes of that stuff. A spiritual person can own what they've gone through. A spiritual person can accept what has happened to them in their life, learn their lessons from it, and move on. But when you see exactly what the world's teaching you, the world is teaching you to not get over these things, but to focus on them. And that's why personally with me, I'm not a huge fan of a lot of therapy, because you are mainly focusing on the problem. You're feeding your energy into a negative thing and you're not necessarily overcoming it, because you have to realize as well, therapists are there to make money off you. They're not there for your own benefit a lot of the time. When it comes to social media, that is highly important as well. If you are spiritual, if you start posting content on social media, or if you start getting yourself out there on social media, you cannot be worried about what other people say to you. Now, I've been on social media for over a year now, and I've built up a good big following on TikTok. Of course, I've only started this YouTube channel very recently. But when I started, there was a lot of negative comments. And when I was reading these negative comments, some of them subconsciously, you tune into that energy and it negatively affects you. Now, because of how long I've done social media for, and because most of all the stuff I do gets a positive reaction, of course I'll still get the odd negative reaction, but that does not affect me anymore. When you're starting off social media, you're going to get negative comments, and I honestly would suggest don't really pay attention to them. Don't tune into that energy level at all. People are always going to have something negative to say, whether you're improving spiritually, whether you're improving with a skill, whether you're going to the gym. This is the thing in the world today. People are intimidated very easily by someone who's better than them. So if you're going to the gym, someone's going to say, oh, well, you think you're all that, you think you're this, you think you're that, you think you're this person. It's so much. There's a confident girl who's really beautiful. Oh, well, she's probably a hoe. She's probably this. She's probably that. People subconsciously make up excuses or make up insults to why someone who they think is better than them isn't actually better than them. And we all have done it. I've probably done it before as well without even realizing, where we automatically chat shit about someone who we think is better than us to make them seem not that much better than us. And that goes the exact same way in the spiritual sense. We have to realize that whether people acknowledge it or not, a lot of human beings have souls. Now, I'll get into a separate video about how some people aren't actually aware of their souls and they're not actually spiritual. They're actual NPCs that operate here on Earth. But for the people who are aware of them spiritual selves, they are going to be able to pick up on frequency. And this happens a lot with women as well, where women can pick up on energy a lot easier than men a lot of the time. That's why semen retention is very, very powerful. And with this, people will get jealous of you if you're on a higher frequency, because if you're on a higher frequency, you're attracting what you want. These people don't necessarily attract exactly what they want into their lives. So when they're not attracting what they want into their lives, and you're attracting exactly what you want into your life, they're going to not like that whatsoever. Why would they like that? Why would they be pushing you to attract what you want in your life? Why would they be giving you your confidence? Why would they be adding to you? If anything, they'd start hating. They'd try and bring you back down to their frequency. And this is exactly what happens with your everyday average person. This is exactly why there could be a lot of people who are much better looking than they think, like physically attracting. But a lot of people don't give them compliments because they already think they have the confidence that's up there. If anything, they'll get insults because people don't want to feed into their ego. You ever notice with women, now this is the cold harsh truth, with women, it's always the ones who aren't that good looking that get the most compliments. And the whole reason that is because the women understand from an emotional perspective that them women who don't have that much confidence because they know they're not that good looking need the extra confidence. They need the validation from the other girls. Now with guys behave a lot differently to that. We're more likely to be brutally honest with each other. But that's why a compliment towards a guy will mean a lot more, because we most likely realize that it's actually the truth. That it's actually a genuine compliment. Most men go through their lives getting no compliments. So that's like a little key as well. For women, if you want to be liked a lot more, not like liked in a weird way, but if you actually want to be liked as a person, if you give men compliments, I'm telling you, they're going to remember them, genuinely going to remember them. Because men don't really operate through getting a lot of compliments. Women get compliments left, right, and center, so they're totally used to it. But yeah, men and women both react differently to someone else being on a higher frequency than them. We are both different spiritual beings. Men operate through the masculine energy and women operate through the feminine energy. Now, when it comes to energy naturally born, the feminine energy is actually a bit more powerful, to be honest. The masculine is more through the physical world. Men are a lot more powerful. But women naturally are actually a lot more spiritual than men, whether they even realize it or not. And if you're a guy and you've hung around a lot of women, you will actually get to realize this, or you'll get to know that they have like a little instinct on picking up on emotions or picking up when certain things are wrong. And that's your spiritual self. The things that science can't really explain, that's like deja vu, like your dreams, like your gut feeling, all this stuff, that's you tapping into your spiritual self. But they want you so far away from your spiritual self that you don't realize it's your spiritual self. Because if they have you living through the physical world, you're not going to be able to develop spiritually. Well, you are, but not as much as you should be doing. So we have to realize that we're here on Earth to spiritually grow as individuals. Every experience we go through physically and emotionally happens for a reason. Your soul came down to Earth for you to experience certain things. Earth is not an easy realm to operate on at all, especially with the state we're in now, with how money works, with how food works, with how the world is just structured. We're so far away from our natural spiritual selves that it is a very big challenge to be here on Earth. But you're here for a reason and you've accepted that challenge. Certain people aren't aware of their spiritual selves. They don't really know why they're here. And when it comes to them finding out why they're here on Earth, they're actually very scared of it. A lot of people are scared of the idea of God and the likes of that stuff, so they kind of keep themselves away from it. Anyways, that basically breaks down why you will be targeted as a man or woman if you're on a higher frequency, and how men and women kind of think of energy and frequencies compared to each other. So yeah, if you're interested in self-improvement, so improving your mindset, money, spirituality, health, and finding a network of brilliant people, I have a VIP group which is in the YouTube bio if you're interested in joining that. And you can also message me there. I'll get back to everyone. Appreciate all the support.